Right, good evening everyone, there we go. I think we are good now in terms of the audio. Apologies about that. Good evening everyone, welcome to Esports Masters League, welcome to Premier 1, and welcome to the Miami Grand Prix, round number 5 of the championship as we take in, of course, as I say, the Miami Grand Prix from the Miami International Autodrome. Got there in the end, did a new Windows update, and it's basically messed over all of my audio. But there we go, hopefully you can all hear me now. Let me know in the chat if you can. My name, of course, is James Head, and I'm going to be taking you to the stream as your solo commentator here tonight. And, of course, we are going to be getting set for 29 laps of action, short qualifying, and the weather being on midday as well. Or time of day, I should say, being on midday as well because of driver complaints in terms of the shadow, similar to Canada. So we decided to go on midday. It's going to be the same for TML if you are part of the TML action tomorrow night as well. Let me run you through then, first and foremost, the driver standings coming into tonight, or the team standings, I should say, coming into tonight. And it is NLR Esports leading the way on 148 points. FER there in second on 125. ET8 there in third on 101. Relentless in fourth on 92. Team Ace, who have obviously been reformed there from Team RAC, there in fifth on 74. Just a rename there. GSP in sixth on 68. LFR in 7th on 63, FRL Esports in 8th on 62, QRT in 9th on 53, and then VIR in 10th there on 49 points. For the benefit of everyone that might be tuned in for the Premier 2 stream as well, I think that has just gone live from Lesty's point of view as well. There are, though, the championship standings on the right-hand side for Premier 2, if you do want to get a quick glance of them. But looking into tonight, obviously, we have got currently 18 drivers within the lobby. We are expecting, of course, a full grid of 20. And obviously, let me run you through then the driver lineup. Now, there are a few changes to this driver lineup compared to the graphic that was done just a couple of hours ago. Maze, I know, is going to be very annoyed at that. But Matteo is alongside the other ET8 man of Davakin. Davakin is now in for ET8 alongside Matteo. Sebastian Raymond not in. Jeroen and Izza for Team Relentless. In the McLarens, of course, are GSP with Payne and Andrew. Leon and Marlon representing the guys for VIR. Bombastic and Now representing Alpine. Nuth not here in terms of FVR. Nardi Perez and Carafelides are going to be the drivers for FVR here tonight. YCN and Tom are represented, of course, the AlphaTauris for Team RAC, or Team Ace now as they are. That will take some getting used to, I'm sure. Axelino and Garufo are in for Team Williams, of course, for Team NLR. Ichiron and Kyle Scarrett and regulars, of course, for FRL. They are in the Alfa Romeo team. And then Ruti, who was not on this list, actually, he comes in as a late fill-in for the LFR team, and he is alongside Amoy. So that is the full grid that we have got. We are waiting on one more driver to join the lobby, which I can report. And May's supporting FVR. Bit of a turncoat already there in the chat from Maze, of course, part of the esports team, his own esports team, of course, now formerly of TTG. But as I say, we are waiting one more driver to get going. My CPU, by the way, is very, very quiet now on this, so hopefully you will be able to hear me fine and crystal clear. Just trying to look through who we might be expecting. I'm going to have a look at the Discord server because I'm obviously the host as well, just see if there's anybody struggling to join at this point. And Lesty saying, can I turn off the EA music from the lobby? Yes, it is in the main lobby. I think it was in the settings, if I'm not mistaken. I think he managed to do that, though, which is good to see. Nothing is in the chat in terms of... GSP Justin is the man we are waiting for, I believe. So I'm going to drop him in an invite. I don't think he's been given one at this stage. So Justin in replacing Payne. So Payne feeling the pain, I think, in terms of the driver lineup. And unfortunately for him, Justin takes his place here tonight. I've just given him an invite there. So hopefully that'll be whizzing his way through the Ethernet right now. And it's probably arrived at his doorstep around about now. And hopefully he can get going. And that means we can get going, of course, for the Miami Grand Prix. 29 laps is one of my favourite tracks to commentate on this game as well. It should be very good to see in terms of the action out on track. Looking at the comments section as well, Wizzy obviously been another turncoat there in the chat saying let's go NLR. You guys really do want to wind me up tonight, that is for sure. But yeah, Wizzy saying the puns have already started yet. The puns have already started. They've never stopped, I think, from my commentaries in midweek for the Shazoo Racing Championship and obviously for for PSGL on Monday as well. Believe everyone is now here, which means I think we are good to go. So I'm just going to put in a message into the chats. And I've just mentioned that to about 435 people. Tell them to ready up. They're all probably in open lobbies. But yeah, the message has just been given by me to get everyone underway. Just a couple of minutes late, which is good. 5.4 kilometers in length, 3.3 miles out on track here for, of course, the Miami Grand Prix Circuit, the Miami International Autodrome, set around the prospect of the Hard Rock Circuit, of course, home to the Miami Dolphins. Of course, Florida in our hearts at this stage. Hurricane Ian is currently affecting Florida. I know Miami is going to be hit, I think, tomorrow, potentially. So, obviously, all of Florida in our thoughts, the Sunshine State, of course, as they call it. 19 turns, in fact, our 18-hour drivers out on track tonight with, of course, the 3 DRS-ons. One down the start-finish straight, one down the back straight in towards turn number 11, and then one down the also back straight, the 1 kilometre back straight down in towards turn 17, which is where all of those shadow problems were being caused, especially coming through the middle sector as well. That's why the decision was taken, if you missed it at the start of the lobby, to obviously change it to midday. And I hope to God that the weather is on midday, and hopefully Codemasters have done me in terms of that. We can bring you, though, the action out on track. We are just loading into the lobby at this stage, and hopefully it is going to be some very good action out on track tonight. As I say, CPU should be fine. It is quite I wouldn't say overcast, it's cloudy here in Miami at the Hard Rock Stadium Circuit, of course, the Miami International Autodrome, and we're about to get going very soon indeed for some great racing out on track as well. Wizzy's saying he's loving the puns, which I'm really glad. At least somebody loves my puns. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a short stream as well from me. Currently quite cold here in the northeast of England, unfortunately. So that means I'm having to warm myself up as I commentate to you guys. Hopefully everything will be fine. Hopefully I don't take another bit of illness like I did last time. My stream, by the way, on Elgato is coming through fine, so you should be able to hear the audio when the guys get out on track as well. Not sure what caused that. I know I was having a few issues with saying something about firewall. I don't know what was going on. But all 20 drivers are now out on track, and we're about to get going for the first action here at the Miami International Autodrome. And if you just tuned into the stream, of course, my name is James Hay. Good to be taken to the stream, as always. Harry there saying, Maze, you're killing me. Don't want any sort of that behaviour, certainly in the comment section there. But I know FER, Harry, is going to be supporting the FER team. Carefully, Zanardi provides, I think, the strongest lineup coming into tonight. I think it should be. I would say an FER 1-2, but you never know. If it's anything like last night in the Shazoo Racing Championship, then, oh, strange things may just happen, potentially, out on track for the FER boys. And, in fact, it was Isma in that race who got caught up in, let's just say, the worst safety car opening, I think, that we could potentially ever see in the Shazoo Racing Championship. But still, that's SRC. This, unfortunately for us, is EML, and unfortunately for us, I should say, it is EML, and we are here for Esports Masters League Premier 1. Premier 2 also live, by the way, if you do want to tune in for the action. Marlon is the first man out on track. Had my privilege of commentating on Marlon around here in the social race for PSGL. I know he's got quite good pace around here, the VIR man. Of course, he's alongside Leon in terms of the racing. And Marlon now coming to the left-hander of turn number 16. And then on down the straight in towards 17, 18 and 19. How are you saying? I'm very scared, please, James. Please help, and we don't talk about the SRC. Yeah, we do not talk about SRC. But Marlon, yeah, is the first man out on track. The Aston Martin has got good pace around here. The German, of course, looking to try and provide himself with a good result. Yellow flag in sector 3 is him. He's coming through the final couple of corners now at 17, and then through the left hand of 18. There's the Hard Rock Stadium, by the way, on the right-hand side. And then we're coming through turn 19 on the run to the line with Marlon on the run down in towards turn number 1. And I'm double taking down in towards turn 1 because I think it might be a little bit of spot of rain potentially on the screen there, but it's not. As now Marlon comes through the right-hand of turn number 3. And already nearly in the wall and has backed out that lap. That is not how you start EML Premier 1 tonight. Marlon there down at the back of the field. I think Leon is the second man out on track to go on board the other the other VIR man, I should say. There's too many teams with too many different synonyms, that is for sure. As Leon now comes to the left hand of turn 6, through the right hand now turn 7, or through turn 5, turn 6. Then to the left-hander turn number 7. First sector split is at the end of turn 8, which is this corner here. And it's a 30 flat in the first sector. Not too bad at all from Leon, actually, through the first sector. As now he cascades his way through the little S section down the straight. Could get a little bit of cheeky DRS, I think, from the Alfa Romeo that is just ahead of him out on track. Of course, that's one of the FER boys as Leon now comes in toward the left-hander of turn number 11. This is where the shadows were at their big peak, I think, in terms of this track, around the middle sector. Luckily, though, cloudy weather, no shadows on the track, and obviously they've got to try and get their lap times in. Leon, beautiful through the chicane, now to the left-hander of turn 16, down the back straight now, and it's a 101.8 in the middle sector, already looking quite good. In terms of lap times, we should be seeing around the 101.1, 101.2 mark, I think, as the session goes on a little bit later on. But now Leon on the run down on the Aston Martin in towards turn 17. VRS going to be on the ball. Molon set to 29.5. Still about a lap though. I think Leon is going to go maybe around a second quicker than him as he now comes through the final corner on the run to line. It's already going to be a 26, I think, for Molon. Nearly got launched on the curb actually coming through the final corner there on the run to the line, and he's set to 26.8. Start off the night as Carafalides has just binned it coming out of the final corner. Nardi Perez is coming up to this point out on track, so we'll try and pick on point with, if we can, on board with him. Axelino was coming up towards the scene of the accident as well, but Carafalides has spun coming out of turn 18 already. FBR woes continue from last night from the Chazoo Racing Championship. And Axelino, there he is on the left-hand side. There is Carafalides in the wall, does the spun on the outside curb. And he is round as Axelino just starts up on his lap. Kyle Scarrett is on a lap. Izza on a lap as well. Matteo 102 middle sector. Comes in towards turn 17. Garufo there a second. Tom there currently in third. Of course, now under the new moniker of Team Ace, not Team VRC, as in the past. Matteo though goes third, 27.1, the ET8 man. And he's just behind his long-time rival and friend, of course, Garufo there. Nardi Perez didn't get a bad lap time in. Andrew's not looking too bad either in the middle sector to 102.2 in that middle sector. And Frankie saying as well, James, you love FVR. Maybe my favourite team in EML Premier 1, dare I say. There's not really much bias going to be shown towards them, though, in the comment section. And even if you pay me, I'll try not to show any bias. As Andrew now comes to the line, he goes 7th, just behind Ruti there, who I know has got good pace around here as well from PSGL. But Leonard on top there, Garufo in second, Matteo there currently in third. Garufo absolutely obliterating the chicane there, and he's going to get in the way. I think that might be his teammate actually coming through. Yeah, it's Axelino, I think, coming through that part of track. So Garufo in full slipstream mode here, and this can gain you around 0.3 per second, by the way, in terms of the racing here. So Axelino can gain 0.3 per second as a result. It's Leonard on top, Garufo there in second, Matteo in third, and Axelino thought it went too deep there and towards 17, but now coming out the final corner on the run toward the line. Could be an LR2-3 potentially here. Axelino to the line. Oh, he goes quickest, 26.837. Leon there with a 26.893 goes second, and Garufo there in third with a 26 flat with 6 minutes gone in this qualifying session. Jerona's coming to the final corner. In fact, he's got he's back in the pit lane. Bombastic on a lap as well. He's coming to the final corner. Frankie saying we try the last to last potentially. Now, last to first. Believe in yourself, man. Come on. Carafalides there down in 20th. No, he's got very good pace. Bombastic, by the way, there goes 14th. And Justin improves there on his second run. The set of softs, 29.1. Goes ahead of Bombastic there to go 14th. Axelino the lad on top, Leon in second, Garufo there in third, Matteo in fourth, Tom there in fifth currently, with Amoy in sixth, Ruti, Andrew, YCN and now up top 10. And it's Kyle Scarrett, it's Jerome, Davakin, Justin, Bombastic top 15, Marlon, Nardi Perez, who hasn't got a bad lap time in yet, Jerome and Izza right down at the back of the field. I'm going to have a look in the chat just in case I'm missing anything on Discord, in case they're absolutely having a go at me for getting some of the lobby settings wrong. Everything, though, quiet as a mouse, which is exactly what I like to see. In terms of penalties, by the way, that was given out, there were a few rather insulting comments towards the stewards, I've got to say, from LFR Keki, I think it was, last week. Just outing them on stream as I do. But yeah, Keki, I think, LFR know better than to try and question the integrity of the stewards, I think, in terms of the racing. I think, honestly, business should get done out on track, and you should focus on the racing, really, out on track, rather than trying to go and obviously try and appeal any dive bomb decisions that are made out on track. Dive bombs are allowed, but as long as within reason, and as long as you don't endanger the driver in front of you or behind you, because if you do, that is going to be maybe the end of your race and maybe the end of the team's chances, of course, in the championship as well. It's unfortunate, though. Obviously, I can understand the reasoning around it, but LFR, I mean, they know better. They know better. Axelino out on top, the Leon in second. Garufo there in third. Marlon has just started up on his second run. Leon, I think, is behind him, actually, out on track. And Nardi Perez is also going towards a lap. We have got a bit of a timing glitch, by the way, on the left-hand side. It is, unfortunately, a glitch that is common in multiplayer, where drivers might be appearing on an out lap, but they're not. They're just going onto their lap. In fact, Nardi Perez, certainly. It's around 20 seconds, I think, the glitch is, in terms of that. But Marlon, purple first sector. He's now coming through in towards the left-hand of turn 11. This is my favourite series of corners, by the way, out on track. I've just turned off the timing tower just to illustrate this point. Through turn 12, through 13, and then through the chicane, which, if you get it right, it is orgasmically good, I've got to say, as Marlon now comes through the left-hander of turn number 16. Marlon with the 101.7 in the middle sector, so not too bad. He's actually going a bit quicker than Axelino through the middle sector. Purple out of everyone at this stage, and looking quite good at this stage for potential pole position. Nardi Perez will go on board with soon. He's coming down in towards turn 11. Smaller now comes through the final couple of corners, through the final string of corners, through 17, through 18, now through the right-hander now at turn number 19. And I think he's going to go on top here. And he does indeed by a tenth of a second. 26.733 beats Axelino on a 26.833. 837, I should say. And Leon, actually, is a tenth and a half up. However, he's just absolutely butchered the middle sector there, unfortunately. Nardi Perez also on a lap, but he's actually invalidated on his lap. FER man not on a run. Relentless Boys is just starting up on that run as well. Is it 30 flat in the first sector? Not looking too bad from the Singaporean. Well, Singapore Grand Prix is coming up this weekend in real life. The first time since 2019. And Izza, of course, former Relentless man. I'm led to believe now. I believe he left the team, but is still competing under the team here in EML Premier, which is obviously not a great decision as he actually comes back into the pit lane, which is absolutely typical of him. Comes into the pit lane, speeds in, and actually nearly corrects himself and nearly goes into the wall. Just trying to flick on board, actually, who might be on a lap? Garufo is 29.9 in the first sector. Purple out of everyone, I think, actually through the first sector. To the middle, 101.7. So this is going to challenge Marlon, I think, into the 26.7s. Should see from, I think, Nardi Perez, we could see a 26.3, 26.4 potentially towards the end of this session, given how the track is obviously evolving out on track there as well. Harry's saying that I love a bit of team politics. Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't like causing a little bit of chaos in terms of social media. Like some people's group for Night Goes Cookers, 26.711. Marlon there in second, Axelino there in third, and actually your own goes third for Relentless. So it's a bit of a mixed-up grid, actually, because we expected FER to be up there in terms of their lap times. Nardi Perez is on a lap, I can report, though, and he's now coming through the middle sector, through the chicane, now to the left-hander of turn 16, and already this looks quick, as it's a 101.7, who's 300ths of a second up on Garufo. If that is the case, we're seeing 26.6 territory here from Nardi Perez in the terms of his lap. I think Ruti has just gone 5th potentially in terms of his lap. I think Leon has gone 7th and Tom there in 8th as well. Many improvements still to come though as the session goes on. Garufo, Marlon, your own top 3. Nardi Perez, though, I think might just obliterate the whole lot of them. Round the final corner, on the run to the line. And in the end, he's 5th. And the same lap time as Axelino. Disappointing, to say the least. Garufo out on top of Marlon in 2nd. And Axelino, Jeroen there currently in 3rd. Albono there in the comments section as well, saying what happened with Miltos. He crashed, coming through turn 17. He crashed, unfortunately. We didn't catch it on the stream. But I can only assume he's got caught in the outside curve. He's took too much on the right-hand side on the wall. And then, unfortunately, obviously he's out of the session and Carrick will lead us right down the back of the field. We know, though. We know he is going to be right up there towards the top end of the field as the session, of course, goes on. Just trying to see if anybody's actually on a lap. I don't think they are. Naup's invalidated. Andrew not on a lap. YCN not on a lap. Amroy, I think, is. He's coming through the left-hander of turn number 7. Down the straight. There's a yellow flag in second 2. Just ignore them. I think they're just yellow flags. And yeah, Amroy is on lap. 30 flat through the first sector. It's not looking too bad. It's Garufo wild on top, Mole on second. You're on there currently in 3rd, and Frankie saying stop jinxing the pole for FER. I'm the worst curse for FER, that's what I'm saying. You may as well get rid of me in commentary. No, you'll never do that. Garufo out on top, Marlon there in 2nd, your own in 3rd, but Amroy on a lap. LFR, of course, been causing a few waves towards stewards a little bit earlier in the session, and unfortunately causing a wave there coming through the right hand of turn 15, was invalidated coming through the chicane, and Amroy with the 1 or 2 flat in the middle sector. Would have been going 2 tenths up, so he would have been aiming towards 26.9, 27 flat mark, I would have expected, in terms of his lap. I'm just trying to see as well. Anybody else on a lap? Davakin is on a lap, UT8 man. And he's now coming through the left-hander of turn number 16. 1.25 in the middle sector, not the quickest we've seen. 5.5 tenths up though on his lap. I think he's a relatively new driver, if I'm not mistaken, to ET8. Certainly new in terms of his appearance here in the racing here tonight for ET8 in EML Premier. First time I think I've seen him this season, certainly. Garufo out on top, Mole on second, Yerona in third. Davakin now on the run to the line. Gonna go behind Cal Scarrett, I think, with this lap. Yeah, he does. Just jumps behind him by about 200ths of a second. Garufo there, still out on top. Izza through the middle sector. 101.7 again from Izza in the middle sector. Hasn't set a lap time currently for Team Relentless. Relentless currently holding third as well with Jerome, but Izza now coming in toward the left-hander of turn 17, breaking at the 100-metre ball. Gets the car rotated in through turn 17. A bit sketchy on the curve. That's just cost him about a tenth of a second. Now coming towards the line. Is it going to cost him any more time on the run to the line? No, it doesn't. He goes 10th. 10th with a 26.9. And that is only 2.5 tenths off pole position. Barely 2.5 tenths off pole. And that is 10th for Izza. A little bit shocked with that, but it just comes to show how close this qualifying session actually is at this point. With obviously Garufo, Marlon, Jerome. Marlon, by the way, I think is wanting to try and get 2 runs here. I'm not sure if he was actually on a lap. Thank you very much for the spam, by the way, the new spam that is going to be hidden now from the channel. Don't get too excited, guys, there in the chat. Marlon is back in the pit lane, in fact. Garufo, though, out on top. Marlon second, Jerome in third. Garufo is on that lap. I think he's going to be the first to set a final run, potentially, with 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Wizzy saying, finally a girl for me. Yeah, unfortunately, because I'm doing the moderation as well as commentating, as well as hosting. Doing 3 things at once, never advisable, to be honest, in life. But Garufo coming through the final corner in the meantime on the run to the line. They're trying to board then with the start at full view with the Williams man. And are currently holding the top spot with Garufo the German. Coming through turn number 1, through the left-hander now of turn number 2. Then to the right-hander again of turn number 3. That was a really high 5th gear there coming through. Just about got the car rotated through the gears. Through 6, then through 7th gear, and then in towards turns 5 and 6. And then through the long left-hander of turn number 7. And this is already looking quite good. And there, I think, might be his teammate just in front of him on track. And indeed it is. 29.7 first sector. Exactly what you want to try and expect towards the end of this session here in terms of track evolution. This will gain him, if he hasn't got slipstream in the last lap, this will gain him 3 tenths of a second. A little bit worse for wear, I think, in terms of the slipstream there, but Garufo is on a very good lap here. Not sure why many teams are not using that slipstream, to be honest, as Garufo now comes through the middle sector. Through in towards 14 and 15, through the chicane. A little bit sketchy, a little bit slow actually coming through there. Now comes to the left-hander of turn 16 on the run through the middle sector. It's a 101.5 in the middle sector. This is more like it. This is the business, but look at the traffic he's coming up towards. The AlphaTauri, the Haas in front as well of one of the RSC boys, or one of the Team Ace boys. He's going to hit traffic. I think he's going to be fine coming through turn 17. And then through 18 and 19, NLR currently looking to try and consolidate this top spot with Garufo on the run to the line. 26.5? Yeah, 26.5. He goes a tenth and a half quicker than everyone else out on track and improves, in fact, a tenth and a half on his own lap time. Axelino's now running toward the line as well. In fact, he's on that lap, so ignore him. Nadi Perez on that lap. Ruti's coming through the first sector. And he's gone 29.7 in the first sector as well. So we'll watch on board with Ruti then. Java's already saying in the chat she's left you already, Wizard. Should have whizzed it about quicker, some say. That is terrible, Jav. Go and throw yourself in the sin bin for that pun. Garufo out on top, Ball on second. You're on there in third. Ruti, though, the other LFR man, is now coming through the middle sector. He's now coming in towards the chicane in turns 14 and 15. There will be more lap times, by the way. I can't keep up with everything, so if I'm not running on board with your favourite driver, I apologise in advance. Ruti, though, Huge middle sector, 101.5 in the middle sector from Ruti, around the same point as Garufo, and now he's running in towards the final couple of corners at turn number 17, 18 and 19 still to come. And as long as Ruti holds this corner well, I think this could be potentially pole position, beating Garufo in terms of his lap. That was much neater than Garufo, coming through 17, through 18, through 19. On the run to the line, is Ruti going to go quickest? No, he doesn't. He goes second in the end. Morland's through the first sector, 29.7, so not too bad in the first sector. Eurona's up there as well. Axelino, though, getting split through off Garufo. Absolutely crucial for their chances. Amoy goes fourth for LFR. Very good lap time from him. Isa went to 11th. YCM there in 12th. They are done in terms of their session. Axelino now around the final corner, trying to look for an NLR 1-2. And currently it is. Garufo out on top. Axelino second, 400th of a second. As Nardi Perez comes in with a 26.5. Where did that come from? Marlon, though, 101.5 in the middle sector. He's 2/10 up, and he potentially could try and trouble Nardi Perez coming in toward the left-hander now of turn number 17. Nardi Perez, Garufo, Axelino currently a top three. Now up goes fifth. Marlon there around the final corner on the run to the line. Can the German now put it on pole here in America? Marlon on the run to the line. No, he goes third, 26.5. Ruti, I think, is still on lap for the LFR team. He's coming through the middle sector. In fact, he's backed off. Mateo's on the run to the line as well, and he's set a 101.4 in the middle sector. Mateo can blitz the whole lot of them. ET8 now coming through the final corner with Mateo on the run to the line. Doesn't go quickest. 6,000ths of a second between the Spaniards. Nardi Perez is out on top, I think, in the qualifying session, unless somebody else is improving, which they're not. Bombastic on the run to line improves to 28.2. That wasn't really a valid lap time in there for him. Nardi Perez by 6,000ths of a second out on top. Mateo there in second. Garufo in third. And why do you look at that? Top five separated by less than 1/10 of a second. Absolutely brilliant driving here in qualifying. And if that's anything sign of things to come here for the feature race, here for the main 50% race, then of course it is going to be an absolute treat to commentate on, and hopefully I might have a voice before the end of it as well. Huge lap time by Nardi Perez though, out on top. Cometh the man, cometh the other, cometh FBR, out on top from Mateo there in second, and Garufo there in third. In what was, I've got to say, maybe the best qualifying session I think I've seen around Miami in my commentaries on this game. Absolutely brilliant. We're just waiting on Ruti to retire. Looking through the comment section there as well. Wizzy really not happy in terms of Dad's pun. And Maze there with some eyes. And Frankie saying, Maze, are you happy now? I think maybe so. I'm certainly happy that Nardi Perez is out on top. But I'm also happy that we've got top five covered within 1/10 of a second. Look at that. 5,000ths in fact. So Mateo's lap time down by 1,000, so 5,000ths of a second covering the top two. The Garufo there in third, Marlon in fourth, Axelino on fifth, the string of Germans there in behind, with Ruti there in sixth, now up in seventh, Jeroen in eighth, Amoy there in ninth, and then it's Leon running off the top 10 with Ace Tom there in 11th, Isa in 12th, YCN 13th, Andrew 14th, Jeroen there in 15th, Kyle Scarrett 16th, Justin in 17th, Devac in the Spaniard there in 18th, Bombastic didn't get a battle lap time in 19th, and Carol Faridas crashed early on in the session. He was right down at the back of the field. We'll go then to a short intermission break. I'm going to catch my breath, and I'll see you in 30 seconds. Welcome back to a soggy Miami. We are now in wet weather conditions, my friends, for the Miami Grand Prix. Sun is blazing through the clouds, which may mean that the clouds are obviously going to disappear as the race goes on, and hopefully we get a little bit of dry running. I really did not set the weather, by the way, for this. It is dynamic weather, as you can tell, and it is absolutely tipping it down in Miami, in the Sunshine State. And these guys, I hope, have gone half wet, half dry setups. If not, they're going to struggle potentially out on track. We are just waiting now for drivers to ready up, though, in the lobby. Great qualifying session, though. Nardi Perez there, obviously out on top, defeated Matteo, who came in with an absolute stonker of a lap for ET8 there in second. Where did that lap time come from? I do not know. Probably the ET8 team don't know themselves, to be honest, in second. And Maze in the comment section saying he loves it. Sorry, Wizzy in the comment section saying he loves it wet. And obviously Maze in there with the umbrellas out. It's raining, unfortunately, here in real life as well, where I am located. But 10 seconds left to go. Get your predictions in the comment section of who you think is going to win, of who you are going to be supporting there in the comment section. And I'll let you know my top 3 now. I think it is going to be Carafalidis for the win. Don't at me. Garufal second, Nardi Perez in third as the 5 red lights are going out here, all on top of Inters. And it is in Miami. Right turn, away we go. And Nardi Perez gets a very good start. Matteo alongside him gets a good start off the line as well. Going in towards turn number 1, though. Garufal around the outside. And actually, Nardi Perez locks up in towards turn 1. Matteo on the inside line of him. I think Nardi Perez is just going to hold on to the lead. Snatches the door there on Red Bull. And he's through and he's into the lead. So Nardi Perez there in front, Matteo there in second, Garufal there in third, Marlon in fourth. They're squirreling the way through the corners. Carafalidis has gained a position past the Vakin, who was struggling off the line. Yaron and Amoy going side by side. Now around the outside, actually, Amoy coming through turn 5 and 6. This will be a great move. Ruti's dropping down the field. In fact, it's Matteo, sorry, dropping down the field. I think he had a moment coming through turn 7. And now they cascade their way down the back straight. And it's Nardi Perez in the end, who was shockingly nearly locking up in towards turn number 1. 8 tenths of a second clear over Garufal, and he's got the speed down the straight. Molon there in third, Ruti there in fourth, Matteo in fifth. Side by side further down the field, though, Yaron and Amoy down into the braking zone at turn 11. Yaron better get this car stopped. He cascades into the side there of Amoy on the right-hand side. Bit of contact in behind. I think everyone got clean through though in behind, and now Amoy and Yaron. Amoy just shuts the door on them and says, you know what, you're not coming through here. And now they come into the real pinch point on the circuit through the chicane, and Amoy makes a mistake coming over the chicane as well. There's absolute carnage in the background. Izza is spun, and that has caused absolute god amounts of damage in behind. Andrew's certainly being caught up in that left side end plate damage on the car. I think Amoy has just lost his left side end plate as well, coming out of spin, coming out of turn 16. Absolute mayhem. Further up the field, though, going around the outside, Marlon on the back of Garufo. Second and third position. They hold on to that position for now, and Ruti's right on the back of these as well. As they come toward the end of lap 1, Nardi Perez leads. Garufo second, Marlon third. More contact further down the field. It's Tom, and I think it's Andrew and Yaron may be caught up in that instant as well, as Ruti dives it down the inside of turn number 1. Nardi Perez still leads, Garufo there in second, Marlon there in third. Many drivers getting caught up in contact. Of course, they're running dry setups in the wet, and that is honestly worst decision to mostly make. But these guys may not have known if the rain was going to be coming in this race. Matteo, by the way, lost a few positions up the line. He lost 3 positions, in fact, off the line. I am led to believe he did indeed. Bombastic has gained 8, Carafalidis has gained 6, YCN has gained 5 positions currently out on track with an absolute cluster coming in towards the middle sector. YCN and Yaron are going side by side now down the straight, and I think Axelino is going to go maybe side by side here on the back of Matteo. Coming in toward the left-hander now of turn 11. Nardi Perez though leads the way. Garufo in second, Marlon in third. Ruti there in fourth. YCN though and Yaron are going side by side. The Frenchman trying to go around the outside then, trying to outgun the Dutchman to the inside. Oh, this would be a great move, actually, if he pulls this off. They're still side by side, coming into the middle sector. Don't want to go side by side into the chicane. YCN was always going to be forced out of that. There's going to be no stupid inquiry in terms of that, as YCN on the outside line, always going to be forced off, and Yaron there's through, and he's into 8th position. Pulls onto that place for now as Marlon tries to chase down Garufo on the run up the hill in towards turn 17. And the run down the straight even towards turn 17. He's going to dummy this, is he, to the inside? No. Actually locks up a little bit to Garufo and nearly sends Marlon with him. A little bit of a lock up in behind there from now, who's right on the back of Axelino. And I think Matteo also made a slight mistake. Coming out through the final couple of corners there is now tries to hunt down for that 7th position, currently out on track. Everyone who came in, by the way, in the lap 1 were Amoy, Leon, Justin, and Andrew. So the GSP team not really starting off well as they mean to go on after really good racing, actually, last week from the GSP boys. And there is a yellow flag coming through turn number 1, I think that was. And I think it was Axelino. It was indeed Axelino, I think, who was spun slightly. Made a mistake. I think that's what the yellow flag was for. And actually now it goes for cascading nearly off the circuit through turn number 6 and 7. And he's currently there in 6th, Axelino in 7th, you're on there in 8th. I'm not sure, maybe if there was a bit of contact between them both and Axelino maybe giving up the position. Not quite sure what happened there. Bernardi Perez leading the way from Grufa there in 2nd, Mollon there in 3rd. Apologies, by the way, if we have intermittent cutouts from time and time again. Unfortunately, the stream that I'm running on and the settings I'm running on, so I can't really do much about that because I think Twitch is currently down, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So that might be having a knock-on effect on the servers. Francisco there saying there in the chat, guessing he's very happy about Nardi Perez's start, and guessing as well that Mateo there down in 5th position. Huge snap of oversteer from Marlon coming out of turn 16 there. On the run down the straight now in towards turn 17. Will literally be back in 30 seconds. I've just got to go and get my drink from on the other side of the room because I didn't. And actually, we're going to cover the Marlon around the outside of Garufo in towards turn 17. So I'll think about getting my drink in just a second because I really don't want me to. I think they want me to die basically in thirst. Out on track as Marlon now cuts the inside line through turn number 19 on the run down towards turn 1, side by side on the width of the track. In towards turn number 1, Marlon on the inside line, Garufo on the outside line, Williams tries to hang it all the way around the outside, but still side by side out of 2, through 3, and Marlon absolutely outmuscles Garufo when he's in the wall! Marlon spins! In the end, coming through turn number 3, he has to reverse out on tracks, a little bit dangerous, you can't really do much about it though, around there, but from turning an absolute positive into a negative there, Marlon round coming out of turn number 3. He got too much caught on the curb on the inside. Luckily, no full wing damage, I think. Garufo as a result through to 2nd, Ruti in 3rd, and Marlon has lost all of those positions that he gained off the start. Disappointing stuff from the VIR man. As I will go and get my drink in a second as you're on this on the back of Axelina once again, and actually Ruti getting very close to Garufo in towards the middle sector there as well, and Jerome's actually going to try this all the way around the outside. This has been an absolute phenomenal move if Jerome can pull this off to the inside line, coming through turn number 11, and I think Axelino had to back out that because he was always going to be forced toward the wall, and in fact he actually slides towards Jerome, coming through the chicane. Tokyo drifting there from the NLR man. He's currently there in 7th. Ruti there, currently in 3rd, trying to hunt down Garufo. I think we're safe. Now, need to go and get my drink. I'll be back in about 20 seconds. And it was safe to come back. There we go. Nardi Perez leads the way. Garufo in 2nd. Ruti there in 3rd. On the back further down the field, though, Kyle Scarrett is under pressure, actually, from... In fact, he's spun. Camera angle really didn't do any justice there. Kyle Scarrett has spun. Left side then plate damage on the car. I think he might have been going side by side with Karafalidis, potentially. I think Karafalidis is okay. Abono there in the chat as well, saying, come on, Miltos. Yeah, Miltos doing a good job at this moment in time. Kyle Scarrett, though, into the quick lane, left side end plate damage currently on the car. We're already on lap 5. I thought we were only on like lap 3 or something. Nardi Perez still leads the way though from Garufo in 2nd. Ruti there in 3rd. And whatever troubles that Nardi Perez might have had in terms of his cold tyres on lap 1, they've just been absolutely washed away, and he's now taken them to the cleaners, quite literally, in terms of his pace. 3.4 seconds currently the gap. Garufo there in 2nd. Obviously 5/10 of a second ahead of Ruti. And Ruti doing a good job there in 3rd, Mateo in 4th, now up there in 5th. Further down the field, is it getting quite close to the back of YCN? Was a little bit looking up in towards turn number 11 there. Oh, that's better. Is it on the back of YCN coming to the chicane? Mercedes, has a big snap of oversteer, and that might be him nearly outside of a second, actually, as a result of that mistake. Nardi Perez still leads the way. Nothing really happening further down the field apart from Leon and Justin. This is the battle we're going to come on board with now as Justin goes... Leon goes a little bit too deep. Justin now going to try and reclaim the favour to the inside line, coming to the chicane. Do not have... yeah, he doesn't want to try and get this move done. Wizzy, by the way, saying there in the chat, you're saying you may not have the drink. Just taking a sip, unfortunately. You can't see me on the camera, which is good. Now, I think, has just made a huge mistake at the final corner. And I'm not sure if he has got a bit of a problem now. He's certainly struggling now. Obviously made a mistake. We didn't catch on board with that because we're on board with the Justin Leon battle down the back straight there. They're coming through 17, 18 and 19 now, so we'll put back to this for now. Bernardi Perez leading the way. Garufo in second. Ruti there in third. Hope you all enjoyed it, by the way, so far tonight for EML Premier 1. Premier 2, by the way, is also live if you do want to tune in for that. And hopefully everything is a-okay with the stream as well. I did do a Windows 11 update a little bit earlier on, so I might have messed a few things up. But it's a learning process for me in the new update, that's for sure. Nardi Perez, though, 3.5 seconds. He's not pulling away. He's not gaining. He's not gaining away, and he's not really losing any time either. The gap is just stagnant, I think, at this point. But I think Garufo's now beginning to up the pace. Ruti has just dropped off the back now. In terms of the dirty yellow, there's a yellow flag through the final corner. I think that's Devakin that is round. Yeah, Devakin is round coming out the final corner. And I'm not sure if he's got damage. I'll flick on board with him quickly. Yeah, I think he avoided that. Nearly just about to spun there again. Keeps it out of the wall once again, though. Out on track. And, yeah, looking quite good so far. Nardi Perez out in front for the FER team. Garufo there in second, Ruti there in third. Cowfleet by the way, currently in 12th position for anybody that is following my predictions potentially in terms of the racing out on track. Don't know why I honestly predicted them, to be honest, but you never know. Safety cars and everything. So far, so good, actually, in terms of the racing around here. And one thing to note in the last few laps or so is that the rain has got considerably lighter out on track. And in fact, I'm now, I think, a bit of liberty to say that the rain is almost going to stop, I think. Out on track as YCM makes a huge mistake coming out of turn number 3. Here comes Ezra, waltzing to the inside on the Singaporean. Just forces the YCN now on the outside line, and in fact, YCN battles back, gets the job back done, and Izza says, you know what, I've just been taken to the absolute cleaners, and now he's going to take him to the cleaners down the inside line. And Izza makes contact with him, and now look at who lets that in. Marlon, Booney's into 9, and he might just well get Izza down the straight as well, into as Nardi Perez currently holds the lead. Garufo there in second, Ruti there in apologies, by the way. We just lost the stream there for a second. My OBS has just decided to reconnect. I don't know why it did that. To be honest, the stream has been running fine. Hopefully everything, though, is now a-okay once again. You're on the back of Mateo in the meantime. 4th and 5th position on the way down the straight. On your own, gaining on the back of the Red Bull. Pulls the inside line, fakes the move, doesn't go for it, though. And Marlon is going to get the job done on his teammate. So Izza dropping down a position. In toward the left-hand return 17. Job done for Marlon for now. Yeah, gets the job done. Coming out of turn number 17. Job done. He's through and he's into that position of 8. As Jerome does down the inside line. Beautiful on the brakes. Mateo now tries to go for the switchback. He tries to get the job done, but I think it's too good to be true for Jerome. He's through and he's into 4th. And Mateo, interestingly, taking a very low 6th gear coming out there through turn number 3 to try and minimise, obviously, the traction that he might get out on track. Izza and Marlon once again. Marlon's just made a mistake, I think, and Izza's back through. He's in 8th position once again. These guys really do like to battle, I think, out on track at this stage. Gap, by the way, 3.9 seconds for the lead. Nardi Perez, Garufo, Ruti, currently your top 3 at this stage of the race. As I say, hopefully everything okay now with the stream. Not sure why OBS decided to do that about halfway through. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. If it does, I apologise. I'll say not really anything I can do about it, to be honest, in terms of streaming over Wi-Fi. I cannot physically actually get another Ethernet cable in to the back of my laptop at this moment in time because it's taken up by goodness knows what else. But yeah, Nardi Perez leads the way, Garufo in second, Ruti there currently in third, about to go on to lap 9 out of 29, which means we've got 20 laps worth of racing still left to go at this point in the race, as Nardi Perez currently holding that lead at this moment in time. And when all the pit stops going to happen, of course, technically it is a no-stop race because we are obviously in intermediate conditions. It is a no-stop race. Bombastic, however, surely he's just gone too deep into the corner. No, he actually gets the move done. Hopefully it's half fake that, I think, on the back there of Bombastic. And Bombastic doing a shaggy. It's not me, because he's through and he's into 11th position. Hopefully this there in 12th. Again, down into turn 1. Hopefully just right on the back there of Bombastic, coming to the left-hander now of turn number 2 to the right-hander 3. And hopefully just looking to try and make good ground. I think, honestly, if it was dry, I think we potentially could have seen really good racing from Cowfleeters. The rain think is stopping or has stopped. I'm just looking at my camera angle. No, it's still raining. It is very likely out on track. The current rain, to calculate this again, just loses a bit of time. I'm really struggling in those wet conditions. Marlon on the back of Izza is going to be the next battle, I think. 7th, 8th and 9th position currently for the NLR man, who's obviously being chased down by the relentless man of Izza, and then Marlon there in 9th position for the VRS team. And in fact, he's on the back of Izza, and in fact, it's YCN, sorry, I should say. The Alpha Tauri is even on the back of these guys. Axelino was 2.5 seconds up the road, so I don't know what I was reading there, to be honest, on my graphics. Marlon, though, on the back of Izza, running down the straight. 10% of EOS left on the car. And do you know what? He might not even need that 10% EOS. Here he comes, draining all of that battery to get this move done. Marlon to the inside line. Izza the battle at the late breakers, though, in towards 17. Singaporean around the outside, nearly hemmed in towards the wall. And Marlon just gets the job done. So Spoonies into 8th, and now Izza, though, might try and fight back down towards turn number 1. I don't think, though. He's settled for the position, and Marlon there in 8th. Izza there currently in 9th position. Third all the way through, so we'll run you through the penalties at this stage of proceedings. Jeroen on 3. Jeroen on 3. Izza there on 3. He's trying to get the move done on Jeroen, sorry, on Marlon, in fact. Jeroen 3, Tom 3, Leon 3, Kyle Scarrett on 3, and it's YCN, sorry, that is on the back of Izza at this stage. I think I said Jeroen by mistake, because I was running through the penalties at the stage. There's a yellow flag, and Amoy has crashed. Coming through turn number 3, there he is in the wall, and that is a VSC. So VSC deployed out on track here, and it's a full safety car now. Full safety car, in fact, out on track. Lap 10 out of 26. I thought we would have got one actually a little bit sooner than that, but we have got a safety car now out on track. Amoy, unfortunately, out of the race. LFR, unfortunately, down one driver. Ruti there currently in 3rd is their main hope, though, so Amoy out of the race. This actually does benefit, I think, Ruti in the long run. Obviously, drivers may decide to pick for inters. Not sure if they can last 19 laps potentially out on track, but if they do, then these guys are absolutely in business in terms of this safety car out on track. Nardi Perez though leads the way, Garufo 2nd, Ruti there in 3rd. Davakin, by the way, is just coming to basically pass the safety car. Nardi Perez stays out. Interesting. So Nardi Perez stays out, Garufo stays out, Ruti stays out, and Jeroen stays out as well. Thought he was going to come in the pit lane there. Mateo now all staying out. Further down the field, I think we should see pit stops though. Izza, not. YCN, not. Bombastic, not. Somebody please come in. Kaufalidis is into the pit lane. Thank goodness for that. Kaufalidis in to the pit lane. Also coming in, I think, is Jeroen in behind. So Kaufalidis in, Jeroen is in, Tom is in. And those 3 are the only 3 at this moment in time, certainly, to pit in. Kaufalidis, though, into the pit lane. New from wing change for Kaufalidis. No wonder he was struggling in that in the middle sector on the first few laps. Kaufalidis, another 5 seconds add on to his pit stop there, and an 8-second pit stop. He's now forfeited the positions to Tom, and only to him, because Justin is just continuing on there in 13th. Tom there has gained a position as a result. Kaufalidis there in 15th. Jeroen there currently 16th. Kyle Scarrett, and then Andrew and Davakin on the 19 drivers still going out on track. Lap 11 out of 29. It's Nardi Perez out on top, Garufo there in 2nd, Ruti there in 3rd. Of course, all racing here in EML Premier and indeed in TML, which is going to be coming up tomorrow night, are sponsored by Next Level Racing. You saw the advert, of course, for the sim rig that potentially one driver might be getting their very, very lucky hands on, and filthy cat paws potentially on as well. Hopefully, though, it's taken care of. Whoever gets the ownership of the rig, hopefully it gets very good ownership, and hopefully, of course, otherwise I will be coming hunting you down in your sleep. Nardi Perez leads the way from Garufo there in 2nd, Ruti there in 3rd, Jeroen there in 4th, Mateo there in 5th, but now up there in 6th, and then actually, 7th, Marlon 8th, Izza there in 9th, YCN in 10th. Speaking of Izza, Jav has just mentioned a comment there, I think, about him. Did Izza not get end plate damage from hitting the wall a couple of laps ago? I think he did. I think it might be left side end plate damage compared to right side. But he obviously feels if it's green, if it's very, very light green, it shouldn't really affect the car performance, to be honest, around a track like this in Miami, in the wet. In the dry, though, probably would affect him more because it's more high speed, and it's obviously you're going at flat out speed basically for a longer period of time, and that is why I think Izza has got away with that. As I say, not sure if he really hit the wall. I think it's left side end plate damage though on the car, and if that is the case, Izza is continuing on with that damage regardless. But it is good to see the Mercedes man in 9 still continue on. Does want to still obviously try and get a lot of points for the team out on track. And Javels is saying, do not sleep on your own. Interesting. Currently we will. He's got a 3-second penalty. Has our Euron, or has Relentless's Euron at this stage. But safety car, I think it's going to be coming in next lap because Davakin is nowhere near getting on the back of the safety car. To be honest, neither is your own Kyle Skoda Andrew at this stage. I think the safety car is going to be out for at least another lap. Michael Massey, of course, not in charge of the safety car here in EML Premier 1. And hopefully, oh, is that Garufo goes off track there, coming through. That was interesting. Garufo coming out of turn number 11 there, I think it was. And he just locked up, I think, on the brakes, which was really interesting indeed. Garufo there second at this stage. Ruti there in third at this moment in time there as well. Looking through the chat, by the way, for Premier 1, nothing happening in terms of the chat for Premier 1, which is good to see. Nobody complaining that I've put them on settings, so it is good. Still a little valid race, which is good. And yeah, Jav mentions there, do not sleep on your own. Currently there in fourth, 3-second penalty currently on his back, basically. Of course, drivers do not tend to get 3-second penalties removed here in EML Premier 1. And for me, Ron obviously is going to try and go to the end of this race along with everyone. He's basically going to follow the same strategy that everyone else is going to be on. If we get a quick safety car, though, as the safety car is going to be out for at least this next lap. If we get another safety car, though, it is going to really put these guys at the front end of the field under a little bit of pressure to try and actually deliver. They will come in the pit lane at least once, I think, in this race. As I thought Garufo lost his front wing there for a second. Goodness me. Nodi Perez still leads, Garufo in second, Rusi there in third. But yeah, as I say, I think if there's a quick safety car after this restart, then drivers at the front end of the field, I think are going to potentially be in a little bit of bother. In fact, to be honest, the majority of the field are going to be in a bit of trouble at this moment in time. Jav also saying who's got the fastest lap at this moment in time. The fastest lap is Leon, 38.4 is his current best, and that is around 6 or 7 tenths, 5 tenths quicker than your Rowan's lap time of 38.9 in terms of them. And actually, them are the only two that have set 38 lap times so far, or 1:38 lap times, I should say, not 38-second lap times, because goodness me, they'll probably be finishing this race while these guys are going on towards lap 14 and going through into the second half of the race. Why this is happening? Yeah, again, apologies. My OBS has really here tonight. Not sure what the problem actually is. Safety car, though. Oh! As Nodi Perez is in the wall! Nodi Perez is in the wall! Spins it underneath the safety car. And I think he got left side end plate damage as a result as well. Absolute disaster if that is the case. I'm not sure if he got away with it, but that was hot in your mouth sort of stuff. Safety car, by the way, is in this lap. Nodi Perez is the virtual Bert Marlander. He's the virtual safety car. But oh my goodness me, he does not want to be doing that again, because he's going to be in real deep trouble if that is the case. Goodness me, I'm going to change the bit rate slightly on the stream as well, because I've just realised it is slightly higher than what I normally have it on. That might just control things. And now, going Nodi Perez, who's going to continue on, regardless of if he needs spun or not. Axelino now up side by side down towards turn number 1. On the outside line, trying to get the job done. Alpine on the inside line, Williams on the outside line. They make contact slightly. Axelino takes the escape roll there just off turn number 1. And they're okay coming through. And Nodi Perez, the hard and mouth moment, brings him a second clear of the rest of the field. Garufo there in second. You're on now through on Ruti in third, who had a mistake coming out of turn number 3. So you're on through and he's into third. Ruti there in 4th, Matteo there in 5th. There's no real changes apart from your own further up the field. Further down the field, though, Izza looking for a move there on YCN. We're in now through the right-hand of left turn number 10 as Garufo has now lost the position to your own. And in fact, I think they're going side by side down towards turn 11, or they were at least. Your own Throonies into 2nd, Garufo there in 3rd. We cut back to the battle with Izza and YCN. Don't think we're going to lunge it from this far back unless Izza dives on the brakes. YCN locks up, nearly into the wall on the right-hand side. I think he just about got away with racing here tonight in this crazy Miami Grand Prix at this stage. Justin on the back of Bombastic, trying to get this job done. Not quite close enough though at this stage of affairs. Nardi Perez still leads the way. You're on that in 2nd. Garufo there currently in 3rd. Further action going down the field at this moment in time. I am just going to reduce again bitrate. I do apologise if it does get a little bit pixely. Trying to manage streaming over Wi-Fi at this stage. But yeah, as I say, I think Twitch is down, so it's probably putting a lot of demand on YouTube at this moment in time. So it's further down the field. Kaufalides makes an easy move down the inside line. He's got no foaming damage on the car now. The Ferrari man through and he's into 13th. My prediction for his win not really coming to effect. Let's hope that with Nardi Perez maybe. I don't know. Nardi Perez still leads the way. You're on there in 2nd. Eurofil there in 3rd. Jav saying the stream is really lagging now. Yeah, unfortunately, my OBS keeps disconnecting and thinks it's stable. Now, as Girona's on the back of Nardi Perez, look at this, the relentless man from an absolute mile back is going to take the lead of the race down the straight in towards turn 11. Nardi Perez is going to try and fight back for grim life, but Jeroen holds the lead in towards turn 11. Warn at your peril, Jav told me in the comment section. I'm warned, and I'm now facing the peril. Justin now down the inside line and Bombastic gets the job done on the brakes. He's through and he's into 11th. But Jeroen through and he's into the lead. Nardi Perez, I can only think has got damage on that left side end plate after that spin underneath the safety car. Because he cannot be forfeiting that amount of time at this stage. In fact, actually, I'll take that back. It's his ERS that he's using up, or he's not using up at this stage. And that, I think, is why Jeroen is going for broke, trying to get him out of ERS stage at this, out of DRS range at this point in time. Marlon on the back of Axelino, coming around the outside of turn number 17. Aston Martin against the Williams. Williams on the inside line, tries to hem it in. Axelino, Marlon still side by side. Across the line they go. The start lap 16. And Marlon on the back of Axelino. Should get this job done. Axelino goes back to the inside line. Bit of a come across there for Marlon. But that is job done. VRL will argue that he had the position. I will also argue that he had the position. Marlon through and he's into 7th. Actually not there in 8th and was just going, I think, for the natural racing line. Nardi Perez, though, has definitely got damage, I think, on that car. 1.1 seconds. Look at how much time he's losing up to Garufo. Garufo is now a second behind him, and in a lapse time, I think he'll be past him. Nardi Perez is driving a wounded car out on track. Jeroen is getting away. 2.2 seconds the gap. Garufo there in 3rd. With Ruti there in 4th, Matteo in 5th, now up there in 6th, they're all hunting down further down the field. Kaufalides in the meantime, with the FEO man, now trying to make hay of his position. To the inside line goes the Greek man, down the inside of Bombastic, Bombastic on the outside line. Kaufalides though carries too much speed in towards the corner. By the way, it has stopped raining, I should say, out on track as well. And Kaufalides tries the up and under out of turn number 12, that was never going to work from him. And now he's got to be careful because Leon's run on the backside of him as well, in towards the chicane of turns 14 and 15. But yeah, Jeroen leading the way. 2.5 seconds the gap over Nardi Perez. Garufo there in 3rd. Ruti there in 4th. Matteo there in 5th. I think we're going to see maybe a move from Izza or YCN. One of these two is going to happen. I think it's Izza. Down the inside line, the Singaporean late on the brakes. Frenchman to the outside line. And the Singaporean, I think, is just going to get the job done here. The relentless man against the Team Ace man. Coming to the final corner on the run toward the line now. Izza just about holds sway and holds the position. So Izza through and he's into 9th. YCN down there, down in 10th position. Jeroen leading the way. Nardi Perez 2nd. Garufo in 3rd. Garufo through this first sector is a lot quicker than than Nardi Perez, I should say, at this stage. Jeroen is quicker than everyone else at this stage. It's 3.1 seconds. Absolutely. Wizzy saying in the chat, Jeroen is going to run away with it. And P saying, Jeroen is cooking. Yep, Jeroen is cooking. He is cooking on hot cylinders, on hot coal, and a hot fire. leads the way out in front, with Nadi Perez there in second. Garufa there currently in third position at this moment in time, as they now come down the straight once again in towards turn 11, and now coming out on the back now, Matteo trying to get the job done in towards the turn 11 complex, doesn't get the move done. Carafalides though, just saw on the graphic, he's moved up around the outside of Bombastic, so Carafalides back through and he's into 12th. Bombastic there down in 13th, Leon there still on the back there in 14th, and Tom not too far off either. Penalties, by the way, at this stage of the race. 3 seconds for Yaron, Izza, YCN, Leon, Tom, Yaron, and Kyle Scarlett. So the 3 that have got penalties so far. Tim, I call him. Justin on the back there. Justin on the back of YCN running down the straight here. In towards the left-hander now of turn number 17. As Justin tries to get the job done on the inside line. There's 3 wide in the background, in the foreground though. Matteo's up by side with Axelino, nearly falls him into the wall. And look at Matteo now down the inside line. Axelino actually lets him through. And Matteo to the outside line, tries to get the job done. Marlon on the inside line, hold to position. Marlon 5th. Matteo 6th. In fact, it was actually now, I should say, that backed off that. So now up into 7th. Axelino there in 8th. And Axelino there, the NLR man beginning to struggle. Justin around the outside of YCN and towards turn number 4. Job done there for the GSP man on the back there of the Frenchman. Now ahead of the Frenchman. He's through and he's into 10th. YCN 11th. Carafalides there currently in 12th position. Oh, lap 18 out of 29. Hopefully we're going to still go towards the end of this race with this at this stage. Now up on the back of Matteo, running down towards turn 11 once again. I can tell you, by the way, it has stopped raining out on track. I didn't mention that a little bit earlier on. Leon and Bombastic are now side by side. It's still intermediate conditions though. Track is taking a lot of time to dry. But because this is the case, the Inters are getting more runs, so that means drivers could maybe go on side of softs towards the end of this race. I swear it is not raining. It is not raining out on track. I've just confirmed that with my own eyesight. But it is not raining out on track. Look at the gap that Yarona's pulled out in front. It's 4.8 seconds now. Over Nadi Perez there in second. Garufo there in third. And Yaron is literally just like he's got a jetpack up that backside of the Mercedes. And look how quick he's gone. 36.3 compared to 37.7 last time out from Nadi Perez. And Nadi Perez is holding a huge train all the way down pretty much to Andrew, who's there down in 18th. Absolutely mad performance from Yaron at this stage. Pulling away. He looks absolutely imperious, I think, at this stage. Is anybody going to come and beat him? Probably not. Watch out for him in this late stage of this race. If those tyres last, he might be on for the race win. He has now picked up a 3-second penalty. And further down the field, Tom on the back of Bombastic. Coming down the straight now in towards turn 11. Track is drying. Might see drivers pit in. Tom to the outside line and Bombastic. This should be easy on the brakes, maybe. Bombastic though, bit of slipstream being used up here. Leon catching on the back of Carafalides just in front. Bombastic to the inside line. This should be Tom's move, I think, around the outside. The Frenchman outguns Bombastic. So the QRT man down and is into 15th position. Tom there in 14th. Yeah, Yaron looking absolutely phenomenal out in front. He just looks different class at this stage. And who would have thought this? FBR, who were not leading the championship, was NLR leading the championship. FBR are not being taking the battle to NLR. NLR are currently outscoring. Ruti and Marlon though are side by side, coming through the middle coming through the final sector, and Yarona's into the pit lane from the lead. And Ruti and Marlon continue on, still side by side and towards turn number 1 they go. They fly past our camera shots, and into the pit lane comes Yaron, set of medium compound tyres. Marlon though, and Ruti are still side by side, coming through this first sector, coming through turns 2 and 3. Still side by side. They're literally super glued apart at this stage. Ruti to the inside line, gets the job done. Holds on to third. Marlon tries as he must, and he's still on the back of him, makes contact with him, and now Matteo is going to join in the mix as well. Phenomenal fight between third and fourth there. Great side-by-side action for around a half of that lap. Ruti third, Marlon fourth, Matteo there in fifth, and now Matteo, 41% of VRS is now going to use this up to absolute good effect. DRS, by the way, is not online at this stage, so therefore it still means it is intermediate conditions. Have they came in too early, is my thinking. Kyle Felidas, though, not coming in too early on the back of YCM. Beautiful judgely move on the outside line now. Through turn number 12, Kyle Felidas, you know he's going to hold it around the outside. Through turn 13, should be job done for Kyle Felidas. YCM, to be fair, holds it in. And Kyle Felidas there, doing his intake. YCM's not going to try around the outside. There's contact there. Kyle Felidas actually makes a mistake, and now they're side by side once again, coming out of the middle sector. Brilliant racing here in Miami. The most entertaining race I think I've seen around here. Kyle Felidas under pressure from both Leon and YCN, and the Frenchman is like a hot rash that doesn't want to get off the back of a Greek man. And tries to go around the outside now. There's a yellow flag in the middle sector. That's the back in on a sort of soft compound tyres round. The leaders are in, and that was YCN being made in contact there with Kyle Felidas. YCN in the pits. And in fact, all of the guys are in the pit lane. And is this still too early? I don't know. I have not seen any DRS enabled, and in fact, we've got a safety car. We've got a safety car out on track. What for? Oh, Davakin's lost his front wing. That's why. Davakin's lost his front wing. Safety car out on track. And that has saved your own. That has saved your own in terms of this race. That safety car. Because otherwise, I think potentially your own would have been in real deep trouble on that set of mediums. As I say, I don't think DRS has become online, and it's certainly not going to be on them now with the safety car being out. But actually, no, Kyle Felidas, you have to feel sorry for them. On a set of inters, I still think it's rather greasy out on track. It looks to me as if it is still slightly damp out on track. And if that is the case, then actually, no, Kyle Felidas, the races, unfortunately, been ruined there by the racing from, by the safety car, and by Davakin having no full main. He did miss the pit lane, I think, as well, did Davakin. But yeah, interesting. Colin in the chat, Bashir saying he got kicked apparently in 2, and Bashir not being allowed to join in qualifying for Premier 2. By the way, in terms of Premier 2, if you're missing out on your Premier 2 action while we've got a safety car, I'm going to jump into the stream now and tell you what is going on there in Premier 2, which is actually getting probably less viewers than us. So tell Lesty that I sent you in terms of showing some support. And Funky Chicken there in the chat saying as well in D2, Lesty James called Tom Tim in Division 1. Yeah, not my best moment. If he's still here, not my best moment whatsoever. Premier 2, by the way, it's on lap 24 out of 29. Much better conditions there. Vengeance leading the way. Batuksai second, Carlsbury third. That is live at this moment in time for Premier 2. If you wanted to stick with Premier 1, everyone now in the pit lane. Davakin, by the way, in for his front wing change as well. Kyle Felidas and Axelino, though, they came out right at the bottom end of the field, pulling the pig's barrel right down the back of the field. Axelino and Davakin, Axelino, Kyle Felidas and Davakin, you've got to feel a little bit sorry for them further down the field. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting now, these final 7.5 laps or so of racing. As I say, really hope you're enjoying the action out on track. Apologies if we are just losing connection here and there. It hasn't done that for a little while, so it's okay now. Your own leading the way, Garufa there in second, Marlon there in third. And do you know what I think I might have been? I think I might be down to my low CPU, which I think is due to the new update, and also the fact that I had the stream running in the background still on Google Chrome, which I still do now, and that's why I'm checking the comment sections quite quickly as well. You're on the least way, that 3-second advantage now whittled away. They've got to watch out for Garufo in behind. Garufo is quick on a set of soft compound tyre. Please watch out for him on this safety car restart, because he is going to be up for this one. Mateo there in behind Marlon, third and fourth position. Marlon over Mateo at this stage of the race. Justin and Nardi Perez in sixth. Nardi Perez, by the way, who came in first as a result, well, came in actually a little bit later than everyone else, but Nardi Perez, 6th position, after obviously having a front wing change. Pretty good going from the Ferrari man. Pretty good going indeed from him. Nardi Perez, that on that Telesort. Watch out for him. Telesort maybe not be the best time to be on towards the end of the race, though. And of course, it will all be dependent on what will happen at this later stage of this race. But your own leading the way, Gruffel second, Mollon there currently in 3rd position. Oh, apologies. Just had to try and clear my throat there without muting my mic. It is rather... It's getting on a little bit. It's for the good thing. For the good thing. It's getting on very well. But yeah, you're on leading the way. Gruffel there in 2nd, Mollon there in 3rd. And I'm not sure if you guys heard any news, by the way, about Las Vegas. Las Vegas, in terms of the... it's going to be having a launch party on the... I think it's the night before the race, if I'm not mistaken, in Las Vegas. If anyone has been lucky to get enough tickets for that and not being robbed off like Silverstone, then obviously well done to you if that is the case. But yeah, it is obviously an interesting one to obviously try and delve into. And launch party, I think, is a good idea. Obviously, it's their first event. They want to try and launch it into the biggest possible market. Unfortunately for us in the UK, we're going to be staying up at, well, I think it's 5 o'clock in the morning, if I'm not mistaken, for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Miami, though, obviously, in terms of Florida, getting affected at this moment in time, though, by hurricane. As safety car is in this lap. It is your own now virtual Bermander. He's the virtual safety car, and you can already tell by his pace speed, he wants to get on with things. And do you know what? If I was in his shoes, I'd do exactly the same thing. I would pace it right to the back of the safety car, then put on the brakes and probably crash everyone out to go and try and win the race. That's why I'm stuck in the commentary box and these guys are stuck out on track doing my duties. Now your own comes through the final corner, already now putting the lighters on. And your own through the final corner leads the way, and it's 8/10 of a second, and Garuffel's not got a great start as now Mollon will try and chase him down out of the final corner on the run through the line. Your own leads the way, and it's already a second from Gruffel in 2nd, Mollon there in 3rd. Nardi Perez launches one on the back of Justin. How's Justin 5th, by the way? Justin caught up in that with an early spin. It's 5th for GSP. Great start from him underneath the safety car restart. Nardi Perez, though, was all on the back of him there in 6th. Girono putting away 1.6 seconds, and these guys have just been left in a different kettle of fish, and it must be because they're all running wet setups. Jerome running dry setup, putting away 1.3 seconds, looking absolutely imperious out on track at this moment in time. Nardi Perez, though, on the back of Justin. This is closing in very quickly indeed for the Ferrari. Look at the speed of the Spaniard around the outside now, in towards turn 11. This should be job done for Nardi Perez. Indeed it is. He's through and he's into 5th, and Mateo's just got a beautiful move done on Mollon coming through turn 11 as well. He's through and he's into 3rd. Mediums are on, though. Mediums are the tyre to be on. Your own leads the way. 1.4 seconds, pulling away to that 1.6. 1.6 seconds on the exit of turn 11. And now Mateo, fastest middle sector out of everyone, is now coming to hunt down the NLR man. NLR, of course, wanting to try and get some hopes up. Look at the speed of Mateo to the inside line. In towards turn 17. Ruti passing just in the background shot as well. But Mateo hems in on your roof. Garuffel's still there, and he gets the traction, he gets the job done. Now up the spun. Hoffney, I think, coming out of turn 11. There's another yellow flag, and it's Jerome, I think, that is around further down the field. But Mateo still trying to launch him on Garuffel. Doesn't get the job done, and it's lap 25 out of 29. Jerome leads the way. Garuffel there in 2nd. Mateo there currently in 3rd, with 4.5 laps or so left to go in this race. As yes, still your own leading the way. Gruffel there in 2nd. Mateo there currently in 3rd position. Brilliant racing out on track at this moment in time. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it at home. Mateo once again trying to close in a Mollon. I don't think DRS is on this lap. It'll be next lap around that the DRS is enabled online. And at this moment in time, Leon trying to chase YCN in the meantime. 8th and 9th position. Good result, actually, for YCN coming on here. Of course, Tom down in 12th position. Leon Neely, think we're over the curb. I think he realised that YCM was on the inside line there, and he nearly absolutely cascaded into the back of him there. Good reaction timing there from Leon, because otherwise it would have been absolute cursing for his race chances. Here's Matteo on the back of Garufo once again. No EOS in use, doesn't even need it, pulls the inside line in towards turn 11. Battle of the late breakers. Matteo this time is going to try and hem out Garufo even more towards the wall, but again the traction from Garufo at the final corner is good, but it's not quite calling this time, as Matteo's still going to try and hunt him down towards turn number 1. Williams against the Red Bull. Red Bull now to the inside line, dives down the inside of turn number 1, tries to get the job done. Garufo's still there on the outside line, going to plot them up onto towards the right hand side curb. Garufo still there, hold to position. Garufo into second, Matteo in third. Brilliant battling. That is racing around 2 in Miami. Marlon there in fourth, and Nodi Perez in fifth, and not entirely out of this race either. Out on track, it's been impressive. Apologies about if we are losing the stream, but Matteo to the inside line gets the job back done. So Matteo Thuni's into second. Apologies if you missed that move. I'm not sure what's going on now in terms of my OBS. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect at this point in the race. Garufo, Marlon, Nodi Perez third, fourth and fifth. As there's the yellow flag in the middle sector, I think that's bombastic. That might have had a mistake there, potentially. Marlon, though, on the back of Garufo. Running down the straight, a long back straight here for Miami, for them to try and catch. And Nodi Perez pulling out on the slipstream. Now Marlon. Marlon's going to have to be trying boxed in here from Garufo. Nodi Perez is so late on the brakes. Tries to hem toward the outside line. Ruti's still in there as well, just in behind camera shot. Nodi Perez gets the job done on Marlon. He's into fourth. And now he's got a set sight on Garufo. Sends it down the inside line. Garufo powers to the outside line now to try and defend. And he holds on for now. Respectable driving there by Nodi Perez. Didn't want to get the job done, but gets an absolute switch back to perfection. Nodi Perez trying to keep on in there. Garufo still in third. Nodi Perez there in fourth. Marlon there in fifth. Unbelievably, still in position as they were. 2.5 laps. Your own leads the way. 3 seconds. It's borderline. Matteo, I think, is going to lose that because he's got those tyres going off him. Nodi Perez, though, on the back. FDR looking for retribution from the Shazoo Racing Championship last night. Is Nodi Perez going to send it? No, not to the inside line. Now, though, does the QRT man on Tom. On YCN, I should say. He's through, and he's in tonight. Then Izza. It's just picked up a 3-second penalty, pardon me. Is that now Thuni's in tonight, YCN in 10th, and Davakin recovering very well around the outside of Axelino coming through turn number 12. This move done, this will be impressive, and he doesn't. Axelino's through and he's into 14th. And a little bit of calm now begins to power over the field in towards the chicane, into the left-hander now of turn 17, and then through the chicane of 18 and 19. Still, your own leads the way. It is still borderline though. 3 seconds the gap over Matteo. Matteo has got quicker speed on those softs for now, but only for now, because those tyres will go off towards the end. YCN and Izra are still side by side further down the field. YCN switches to the outside line. Don't think the attempt was going to be there. Izra defends well. 10th and 11th position at this moment in time. And Ruti right on the back of Marlon there as well. Your own Matteo, Garufo, top 3. Nodi Perez, Marlon, Ruti, Justin, Leon now is at top 10. YCN, Tom Carroll leaders actually in the back in top 15. Carl Scarrett, Bombastic, Andrew, and your own top 19 drivers still going. And now we're not going to get a safety car. And now it is pedal to the metal all the way to the checkered flag. Here is Ruti. Closes in desperately now on the back of Marlon. Look at the straight line speed from the fin. Is he going to lunge it to the inside line? Yes, he will. His car's going to be half alongside. I think Marlon's going to hold the position. And he spins and nearly into the wall. Marlon around the outside there. So Ruti gets the job done. Marlon heading towards the wall. And I think that was down to the contact model that potentially. Unfortunately for him, Ruti Thuni's into 5th. He escapes the scenes if he's done nothing wrong. What he did there. Marlon there in 6th. And Justin there in 7th. Jerome beginning to build up that gap again. It's 3.2 seconds. Luckily for him, Matteo's not in DRS range. If they were both side by side down that straight, they would be at DRS point at this point onto the final lap of this race. Jerome, though, still leading the way desperately, trying to get that gap out to as much as 3 seconds as possible. Matteo there in second, Garufo there in third, Nardi Perez there in fourth, all settling down for a final 4.9 kilometre battle here in Miami. Jeroen still leads the way in the Sunshine State, but Matteo is right on his heels. 3 seconds the gap, and that is all that is needed to win this race for Matteo. It could come down, potentially, to thousandths of a second. That is what we are talking about here. As the gap extends, there's a yellow flag in Sector 1, and there's bombastic round coming out of Sector 1. Jeroen still leads the way though. Further down the field, Justin now on the back of Marlon. Marlon's really struggled with his tyres, I think, on this strategy and on this stint. As Justin tries to close in down in towards turn 11. Gonna get the job done. Everyone just filtering through now the middle sector. Matteo, Garufo, Nardi Perez, still all in the fight. Still all going for this. As Jeroen, at this moment in time, is 3.2 seconds clear, but at this moment, Matteo now is dangerous. He's got more EOS at this stage than him. Nardi Perez as well, on the back of Garufo. This is going to be the towing factor. This is going to be a lunge for third. The FDR man on the back of Garufo. Garufo forces to the inside line. Nardi Perez though cuts to the inside line. He's still there alongside him. Beautiful dive down the inside from Nardi Perez. And he takes third off Garufo. Jeroen to the line wins. Matteo there in second. And that's how they're going to end up with Nardi Perez snatching a podium there in third. Great race from Nardi Perez to recover. Garufo there in fourth. Marlon there in fifth. Ruti there in sixth. Great racing from all. Kauflidis, my hope, by the way, for the race win. 13th in the end. Davakin 14th, Axelino, Andrew, Kyle Scarrett, great on Bombastic, and Kyle Scarrett to, Jeroen, I should say, to come across on the other FRL man to come across the line. Oh, that was intense. Great racing. And in the end, 0.3 of a second as Bombastic has spun out the final corner. And if he's not careful, Jeroen could catch him before the end, but I think, hopefully, he'll get the car going. Get in the right direction, man. Bombastic now on the run towards the line, finishes in 18th, and Jeroen around the final corner on the run to the line. He might try and sneak the fastest lap here. Jeroen on the run to the line, and indeed he does. 28.536, I think that was in the end from Jeroen, and he steals the fastest lap for FRL. 19 finishes in an absolute tremendous Premier 1 for Miami. Driver of the day, deserved, I think. Jeroen takes the race win, and Relentless are in the fight here in Premier 1. As the Dutchman comes now, hopefully, as I say, that to the top step of the podium, and he takes the win out on track with, which you missed the celebration there, apologies about OBS just crashing again, but yeah, Jeroen takes the race win, and in the end takes a full load of points back to the Relentless team base. The Dutchman there very proud of his performance, and so he should be. That was ruthless from Jeroen in terms of his pace, and in the end, cometh the man, cometh the hour. Jeroen wins here in Miami. I've run through the full grid order now, and if it was 3.5 of a second clearer, Matteo would have won that race. But Jeroen takes the win. For Matteo there in second, Nardi Perez there in third, Garufo in fourth, Marlon there in fifth, Ruti there in sixth, Justin in seventh, now up in eighth, Leon there in ninth. Good points all, by the way, for VIR. Izza there in 10th, Tom in 11th, YCN there in 12th, Kauflidis in 13th, Davakin, who was quite a way off the pace, in 14th from the end, drove well. Axelino in 15th, Andrew 16th, Kyle Scarrett, Bombastic, and Jeroen top 19, with Amwoy being the only DNF, and in fact one of the only safety cars out of 2 that we've got in that race. 1 safety car being the order of the day there, as Jeroen takes the win, with Matteo there in second, and Nardi Perez there in third position. And that is the end of the Miami Grand Prix. We are back on break week next week, so that means we're going to be seeing you once again in 2 weeks' time in Japan for Suzuka for round number 6 of the championship there, and hopefully it is going to be some really good racing, of course, out on track once again for all of these guys, and for me, certainly to decipher in terms of the racing in Japan. As I say, I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, tick the notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. Apologies, by the way, if we did lose a little bit in terms of the stream at parts. Nothing I can really do about it. I think, as I say, it's down to the new update that I've done. I think the CPU will fix itself. I've had it before. And looking through the chat there as well, Funky Chicken was saying your own is just different gravy in the rain on this game. Totally agree with that. And Funky Chicken saying, James, I'm disgusted at how you said cooking. Yeah, terrible. I'm a northerner. I'm supposed to be a northerner, but I sound like a very posh northerner. Let's put it that way. But yeah, Japan in 2 weeks' time. Round number 6 of the championship will begin very, very soon, of course, as the racing comes to the end here in Miami. We go, Hoffen, it's the only figure of 8 circuit in the world in Suzuka. Hopefully you can join me there. Thank you so much for watching this time, and we'll leave you in the hands of our capable sponsor, Next Level Racing. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.